Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text number 32. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Devanam Gunalinganam Anushravika Karmana Sattvayevaika Manaso Vritti Swabhaviki Tuya Animitta Bhagavati Bhakti Siddher Gariyasi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Lord Kapila said, the senses are symbolic representations of the demigods, and their natural inclination is to work under the direction of the Vedic injunctions. As the senses are representatives of the demigods, so the mind is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mind's natural duty is to serve. When that service spirit is engaged in devotional service to the Personality of Godhead without any motive, that is far better even than salvation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The senses of the living entity are always engaged in some occupation, either in activities prescribed in the injunctions of the Vedas or in material activities. The natural inclination of the senses is to work for something, and the mind is the center of the senses. The mind is actually the leader of the senses, therefore it is called sattva. Similarly, the leader of all the demigods who are engaged in the activities of this material world, the sun god, moon god, Indra and others, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is stated in the Vedic literature that the demigods are different limbs of the universal body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our senses are also controlled by different demigods. Our senses are representations of various demigods, and the mind is the representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The senses, led by the mind, act under the influence of the demigods. When the service is ultimately aimed at the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the senses are in their natural position. The Lord is called Hrishikesha, for He is actually the proprietor and ultimate master of the senses. The senses and the mind are naturally inclined to work, but when they are materially contaminated, they work for some material benefit or for the service of the demigods. Although actually they are meant to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The senses are called Hrishika, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Hrishikesha. Indirectly, all the senses are naturally inclined to serve the Supreme Lord. That is called Bhakti. Kapiladeva said that when the senses, without desire for material profit or other selfish motives, are engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is situated in devotional service. That spirit of service is far better than Siddhi, salvation. Bhakti, the inclination to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is in a transcendental position far better than Mukti or liberation. Thus, Bhakti is the stage after liberation. Unless one is liberated, one cannot engage the senses in the service of the Lord. When the senses are engaged, either in material activities of sense gratification or in the activities of the Vedic injunctions, there is some motive. But when the same senses are engaged in the service of the Lord and there is no motive, that is called animitta and is the natural inclination of the mind. The conclusion is that when the mind, without being deviated either by Vedic injunctions or by material activities, is fully engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is far better than the most aspired for liberation from material entanglement. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta.
The following is a class on Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 25th chapter, text number 32. Given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Recorded on 2nd of December, 1974 in Bombay, India.
Yesterday we talked about Sankhang. Tattamnayang jat pravadanti Sankhang. So there is material Sankhya philosopher. They simply satisfy, simply studying these 24 types of elements, but the real Sankhya philosophy, as propounded by Kapildev, that is Bhakti. That is, he has said, Bhakti Vitana Yogam. The activities of the spiritual field, that is Sankhya philosophy, not of the material fields. In the material field, you will find these 24 kinds of elements, analyze. But beyond this 24, there is soul, and the soul is acting. That is called spiritual activities or bhakti yoga. So because it is transcendental to material activities, then therefore in the bhakti yoga there is no such desire for material benefit. Animitya, the Buddha said, animitya. Here all activities are done for some material profit. Nobody is that. Even the so-called political leader sacrifice everything. That's all right. But everything is for material benefit. Even in our country, a big man like Mahatma Gandhi, he sacrificed everything, his family, his profession, and many other leaders. But what for they were working? They were working for some material benefit. That's all. Not for any spiritual benefit. So that is not transcendental activities. That is material activities. Expanded material thoughts. Somebody is working for his family, or somebody is working for himself. Like animals, the cats and dogs, they work for himself. And human being, they are little advanced. They work for family, for wife, children, or further extended for society, for community, for nation. You can expand. Even international. They are all material activities. Nimitta. Simply expanded. Expanded. Suppose if you steal for yourself, and if you steal for your family, or if you steal for your community, that stealing is there because you are stealing for greater family. That does not mean you are not a thief. There was a story, Alexander and the thief. The Alexander arrested one thief, big dacoit, plunderer. So, when he explained, my dear Sir Alexander, so what is the difference between you and me? I am also plunderer, you are also plunderer. I am a small plunderer, you are a big plunderer. So where is the difference in quality? So Alexander the Great, he was very sensible. He released him. Yes, there is no difference. So to become a big thief, big plunderer, does not mean that he is advanced. Similarly, our sense for personal sense gratification, or my family sense gratification, or for my nation sense gratification, that is sense gratification. That is not spiritual activity. That is material activity. So long you will have desire for sense gratification, and localized or expanded, the quality does not change. The quality will change when this sense gratification will be transferred to Krishna. Not sense gratification for me, for my family, for my society, for my nation, or for my species. Just like there are many philanthropists. They are busy doing welfare activities for the human race. But they are not interested for the benefit of the animal race. Animal race should be slaughtered, and human race should eat. This is their philosophy. But we have already discussed Kapil's philosophy. Srida sarvadehina. Srida sarvadehina. The animal has got also body. We have also got body. But a Vaishnava is not only a friend to the human society, but he is friend to the animal society also. The bird society, tree society, every society. A Vaishnava does not like and unnecessarily a tree should be cut down. That is Vaishnava philosophy. A Vaishnava does not like to trample over an ant. That is Vaishnava philosophy. Sarvadehina. Titiksava karunika. Srihida sarvadehina. We have already discussed this verse. So, how this can be possible? This Srihida sarvadehina is possible when one has surrendered himself to the Supreme Being on his account. Because he has surrendered to the Supreme Being, he is friend to all living beings. Artificially, you cannot. Artificially, you select some section, the poorer section, and worship him like Narayan, and you call him Daridra Narayan. But a devotee, if he has got vision of Narayan, he will see the Daridra Narayan, the rich Narayan, the Chag Narayan, and the every Narayan. Pandita Samadarshana. Why a section should be called Narayan? If you have got such broader vision that you are seeing Narayan in everything, then what the rich man has got done, he is also Narayan. And the goat has got, he is also Narayan. The cow, he is also Narayan. Then you should, if you have such broader vision that you see everywhere Narayan, then why should you specify a section? There is the Narayan. So, it is not possible. So long one is not a devotee, one is not on the transcendental platform, this equal vision is not possible. It is crippled, all crippled. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga should be animitya, ahoituki. These words are used. Savai pungsang paro dharma, jato bhakti adhukhaji, ahoituki. I am serving Krishna. The devotee is serving Krishna, not with any purpose, just to satisfy him. Not any purpose, my profit, Krishna's profit. That is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita several times. They are repeated. Arjuna, on his own account, he was not willing to fight. No, Krishna will not fight. The other side, then my relatives, my brother, my nephews, no, I cannot kill them. But when he understood that Krishna wants this fight, he said, yes, I shall do. Karishe Bachanam. So this is bhakti, that we have to do anything for pleasing Krishna. That is called animitta. No condition. Ahituki. Ahituki means no condition. Or animitta. No reason. Everything should be done for Krishna. So, animitya bhagavati bhakti Siddhe gariyasi. That is better than Siddhi. Siddhi means self-realization or Brahma realization. Therefore, Krishna says also, what Krishna says and what Kapil Dev says, they are the same thing. Therefore, here it is also said, Bhagavan Uvacha. And in the Bhagavad Gita also you will find Bhagavan Uvacha. Never said Krishna Uvacha or Kapil Uvacha, because they are Bhagavan. So, those who are self-realized soul, who know what is Bhagavan, so instead of speaking Kapil Dev Uvacha, he says, Vyasdev says, Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled by Srimad Vyasdev. So as Bhagavad Gita also, it was heard by Arjuna, it was released to Sanjaya, and then from Sanjaya heard Vyasdev, and he made it recorded in writing in Mahabharata. So he says Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan Uvacha means that is the perfect version. There is no mistake. If some ordinary man says, there will be so many defects and cheating, because ordinary person has no perfect knowledge. He may be very, very advanced scholar, but that does not mean he is perfect. Perfection is different thing. Perfection means there should be no mistake, no illusion, no cheating, and no imperfections of the senses. That is perfection. And therefore, it is said here, Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan is all perfect. Therefore, we should take knowledge from Bhagavan, or one who speaks according to the person of Bhagavan. We should not hear anybody else. That is imperfect. So our Krishna consciousness movement on this principle, we are speaking not anything manufactured by us. That is not our business. Because how we can manufacture? We are defective, we are deficient, imperfect. What is the use of my philosophy? What is the use of my thinking? Generally they say, I think, in my opinion. He does not think that I am a rascal. I have no value of my opinion. He thinks that he is something very big. No. Because our senses are imperfect, whatever knowledge you have gathered by our sense speculation, that is imperfect. That cannot be perfect. Therefore, we have discussed already, tattva amnayam. We have to receive knowledge from disciples. Tattva, that then we will understand the truth. Tattva, this subject matter we have discussed already. Amnayam, evang parampara. We should not manufacture knowledge. We should take knowledge from the perfect. Just like here it is said, Bhagavan Uvacha. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan Uvacha. If we follow this Amnaya system, then we become Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, who is Guru? He asks everyone to become Guru. His mission is that people are suffering all over the world for want of this Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. That's a fact. So, he is advising everyone, especially those who are born in India, Bharat bhumite manusya janma haila ja, janma sarthak kari karo paropokar. That is his mission. He is requesting every Indian, because they have got the facility for understanding what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Srimad Bhagavatam, what is Vedas. They have got this opportunity. Therefore he says, Janma sarthak kari. You have taken your birth in India. You make your life successful by taking advantage of the scripture and then assimilate the knowledge and preach all over the world. They are in darkness. That is being repeatedly said. But we are not taking advantage of. We are so misfortunate, we are misguided by the so-called leaders that we are neglecting this valuable literature which is spoken by Bhagavan. We are talking of some nonsense. That is our misfortune. So we have to take knowledge from Bhagavan and spread it all over the world. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. So he says that you become Guru. He says, Hamar aggai Guru hoiya, by my order. Don't become a so-called Guru, manufactured Guru. You become Guru by following my instruction. Hamar aggai Guru hoiya. Guru means who follows the predecessor, authorized predecessor. He is Guru. Not that everyone is Guru. So, therefore we have to follow the superior order. Then we become Guru. Not that by cheating others we become Guru. No. That is cheater, that is not teacher. Guru means who is following the superior order. The superior order is Krishna or his representative. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. He is ordering, Amar Agga, by my order. Guru hoiya, you become Guru. Oh, sir, it is very difficult to become Guru. I have no education, I have no culture, I am not born in a very high family, I am very low. A devotee always thinks like that. He never thinks that I have become very great. Just like Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author of, he says, Purisher Keet Haite Muise Logishta. Purish means stool. And there are worms in this stool. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author is saying that I am lower than these worms in this stool. That is Vaishnava conception. Tinad Vishuniti. He is very humble. He never says, oh, I am the supreme. I have become God. The most rascal foolish. So that is not. Therefore you have to follow. If we actually want to become Guru, there is necessity of many thousands of Gurus to teach this cheated public. But how to become Guru? That is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amar Agga, by my order. What is your order, sir? Na jare dakho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Then you become Guru. You simply advise people to follow Krishna's instruction. Then you become Guru. So that is our mission. This Krishna consciousness movement is that we are simply trying to convince people what Krishna has said. That's all. We are not manufacturing it. So that is our business. Krishna says, Manmana bhavamad bhaktamad jajimang namaskuru. We are training our disciples. Just always think of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, and become Krishna's devotee, offer him prasadam, dress him nicely, Manmama bhavamad bhakta, madhya, worship me, worship Krishna. The same thing. Krishna says, worship me. We are saying, worship Krishna. Krishna says, surrender unto me. We are saying, surrender to Krishna. So we have no difficulty. To become a Guru, there is no difficulty, provided we repeat the same thing as Krishna says. And if you say something more or less, then you are not good. Very simple thing. Very simple thing. So that is the advice here. Animitya Bhagavati, Bhagavati Bhakti. You cannot manufacture the ways of Bhakti. Bhagavati, what is advised by Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. Dharmanta Sakshat Bhagavat Pranit. You cannot manufacture a line of Dharma. Dharmanta Sakshat Bhagavat Pranit. Dharma is the law given by the Supreme Lord. You cannot manufacture. This dharma, that dharma, this dharma. No. Dharma is one. Dharma cannot be different. Dharma means to abide by the orders of God. This is dharma. But if you do not know God, if you do not know what is order, then you must manufacture something, rubbish, and fight amongst yourselves. That is not dharma. Therefore, Bhagavad says, dharma projhita koitava atra. All cheating types of dharma is rejected and kicked out from Srimad Bhagavad. Dharma projhita. Prakrishta rupena ujjita. Just like you collect all dust and throw it. Similarly, this Bhagavad dharma is not a cheating dharma. Bhagavad dharma means in relation with the Supreme Law. Bhagavati bhakti. Bhakti can be applied only to Bhagavan. Bhakti means the business between Bhagavan and Bhakta. That is bhakti. If there is no Bhagavan, then where is bhakti? And where is bhakta? If Bhagavan is zero, then where is bhakti? Bhakti means the transaction between Bhagavan and Bhakta. Just like here, the Bhagavan is there and Bhaktas are there, and the transaction is dressing the Bhagavan, feeding the Bhagavan, chanting the Bhagavan name, calling people to hear about Bhagavan, to publish books about Bhagavan. This is bhakti. Bhakti Bhagavati. Simply in relation with Bhagavan. No other business. Animitya, without any material desire. Anna vilasita sullam, jnana karmadana abritam. There is no touch even of jnana. Jnana means speculation. And trying to understand the absolute truth by mental. Jnanam me paravam guhyam jad vijnana samannita sarahasam tadangancha grihana gaditang maya. These are the instructions of Lord Brahma and Lord Krishna. Sarahasam tadangancha anga, this bhakti anga, this savanam kirtanam vishnu smaranam padasevanam. These are different, branches, not actual phases or features of bhakti. To hear, just like we are hearing and chanting, I am speaking, chanting, you are hearing, this is bhakti. Savanam kirtana. What we are chanting and hearing? Vishnu, not any other one. No, Vishnu. Vishnu. Savanam kirtanam Vishnu. You cannot say any other demigod. No. That is material. That is material. If you try to hear about some great person or demigod, that is material. But when you hear and talk about Vishnu, that is bhakti. This is bhakti. Different processes. Savanam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam padasevanam. So in this way, we have to execute, as it is said, animitya bhagavati bhakti, which is siddhe gariyasi.